What's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's made it a couple days since I made a video, so I am here making a video. So this topic is going to be about, did my ex forget about me? Does my ex stop thinking about me? No, boo-boo. So the quick answer to this is no. Lay out some things that they are going to be thinking about or doing during their time from you, okay? So get right into it. Now, when somebody breaks up, the initial few days, week, month, whatever it happens to be, depending on the person, depending on the relationship, is going to be different. Some people are extremely sick and tired of you when they do leave. Some people just want a little bit of space. It really depends, right? So yes, of course, they are still thinking about you. Now, it's going to start off a little bit more negatively in the beginning, because when people want that space, especially if you're invading their space, if you are constantly pursuing them and you're like, oh my God, please, like, let's talk about this, let's rethink this, you're not respecting them and you're not respecting their space. It's a very common question, especially by people that get dumped. And it's very common because their fear is starting to come through. Fear is a serious emotion. It is something that can drive people. It's something that can like hinder people. It's very powerful, and you can use fear to make yourself better or worse, right? And if you're the dumpee, it's going to really suck for you because you are at the mercy of this other person. The ball is now in their court to contact you again. And like I say in all my videos, the strongest position to put yourself in is to walk away, right? No contact. That makes it a lot easier and a lot better for you to get them back because you're respecting their space, and this gives you time to heal and grow as a person and look back at the relationship with a different perspective. Okay, that's why you need to do the no contact rule, and then and move forward from there. And then your ex, most of the time, they revisit the idea of getting back together with you anyways. When that does happen, you come back stronger and better. And a lot of people make a mistake when somebody contacts them and they're like say they reached out, say the girl reaches out to the guy, the guy's like, oh my God, like, okay, like, I haven't heard from you in 3 weeks, and so I'm really sorry about all this stuff. Just apologizing already, and she might just be reaching out to say hi. Like, you have to go back at it like dating again, right? You gotta go back at it like, hey, let's go for a date. Let's go on a date, right? Hold on. Okay, sorry about that, guys. You need to go back to it and go back on going on dates and stuff like that, right? So that's usually what people do, is the opposite of that. They start, you know, they hear back from them and they're like, let's go right back into being a couple. Instead of being strong and instead of being centered and knowing your value, knowing your worth, you're putting them back on a pedestal almost immediately. How unattractive is that, right? So everyone goes through different motions during a breakup, okay? So everyone is gonna go through different phases and different points. If you are the one who got dumped, you are going to basically feel that initial burning, shitty feeling for quite a while. You're gonna be, you know, depending on you, depending on what kind of person you are, depending on how busy you stay, stuff like that, right? So you're gonna want to stay busy and constantly improve yourself to kind of keep the progress of your life moving forward. You know, working out and all that kind of stuff, right? So you're gonna want to keep doing that, and then on top of that, it's like you're gonna be taking a step backwards with this person. But that's sometimes a great thing, because some people get very wrapped up in what their relationship is like, and it could be actually a very toxic thing, okay? Someone's not listening and something like that. And when you go back, you're able to see the faults that you had when you were the one making the mistakes, right? So I'll tell you a quick story. I've been in both positions in this. I have broken up with someone, and someone has broken up with me. The person who I broke up with, it took me like 3, maybe 4 weeks to even start considering contacting this person because of how much crap that we went through, okay? It wasn't anything serious. It was just so annoying. And I just wanted to take a step backwards and just start dating this person again instead of defending myself all the time. She thought that like when I would go hang out with my friends and play sports like soccer, basketball, stuff like that, go hang out with my boys, she thought that I was out there messing around with chicks. I'm like, I don't fucking care about other girls. I just want to chill with my boys. I want to get away from feminine people for a minute, because she had a bunch of sisters, and oh my god, it was just girls stuff all the time, right? So you'd hear shit that you just don't want to hear or don't care about as a guy. So she thought that I was out there doing all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, no, like I'm with my boy. Like I didn't back. This was such a long time ago that we didn't have like smartphones yet. I'm not that old, by the way. This was like when I was about 17 or 18 years old, and that's when like the iPhones were first starting to come out, right? So, but nobody really jumped on that until a little bit later. So anybody that could afford it, it was fucking expensive to have one of those at the time. But let's go back. So, like I said before, it took me actually I think it took me like a month and a half, because I'd see her at school, and there was so much drama surrounding our breakup because we were kind of known, and it was just such a shit show. So it took even longer because I was constantly reminded of her and the breakup, and people were like, "Are you guys gonna stay broken up? Are you guys blah blah blah?" And I'm like, I don't know, right? I want to process my own emotions. So we ended up getting back together. I contacted her. I'm like, hey, I miss you. And that's what made me come back to her, was I had the time and the space to think about it. Does that make sense? Please tell me that makes sense to you. I had the time and the space to think about it, okay? And that's the best part. That's the best thing you can give them. Because if you give them that, they'll come back so much faster, okay? Promise you. Give them the respect of the space. Now, I'll tell you the other part. I've been dumped, and I chased, and I chased, and I chased, and I chased, okay? Now, obviously what I did was wrong. Begging, oh my god, it was fucking pathetic. So, when I did that, I was like, never again, I'm gonna be strong. First 3 days were the hardest days because that routine, all that stuff kept clicking in my head, and I was like, oh, this really sucks. But after that, it was a lot easier to go through. It was more like, okay, you know what, I haven't talked to you in a few days. This is kind of nice hanging out with my friends. Like, certain things started to kind of get put into perspective about how nice the space and being alone was. So she eventually started coming around again. It took maybe like 2 months, 3 months, something like that, and then we got back together. And I was able to see the faults that I had, right? I was coming to the relationship with certain expectations. And you don't have expectations, okay? Expectations, stupid, okay? You can't expect people to do anything, right? So that's it for this video. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Check out my website, powerfulrelationships.co. If you want to book a session with me, the pricing for all of that is on my Instagram DM, also on my website as well. And we can go over all that stuff there. And we can absolutely sit down and talk about the situation that you have. And if we can come up with a solution and be on your way as fast as possible instead of you watching all these videos and guessing. Okay? Now, and you could obviously like email me. My email should be down below. And we can go from there. And join my email list for the latest latest updates. Because if anything happens to anything happens to me, and I can't hit you guys up on social media, then it'll be there, and you'll be able to get the updates there, right? So, and that's all in the description below. So if you guys have any questions, hit me up. I'll be there, okay? And we can go into anything you guys want to. All right, guys, take it easy.